Hello, I'm Shane Schulz, and you're listening to the WEGO Health Podcast. WEGO Health is a network of over 100,000 patient advocates, influencers, and experts helping others and transforming healthcare. The following interview is from the WEGO Health Awards Winner Series.
Hey, Jackie, it's great to have you here today.
Hey, Shane, how's it going?
Oh, listen, I am doing wonderful. Hey, we got a great interview with Barby Ingle today. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about her?
Well, Barby is a very special lady. Barby was the winner of our WEGO Health Activist Lifetime Achievement Award this year. And she won that because she is a chronic pain advocate, but she's also the president of a foundation called iPain. She's been featured in media over 300 times. She uses her personal profile as a hub for conversation and community. And she also works really hard to reach and teach others about chronic pain. She continues to share her story and encourages everybody to share their story. She is leading the chronic pain community and is taking healthcare by storm.
Awesome. Let's get right to it.
And we are here at the WEGO Health Awards for 2016. And hey, here's a good friend of mine. Her name is Barby Ingle. Hey, Barby, how are you?
Hey, Shane, I'm doing good. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Oh, it is a pleasure to have you here. In fact, we're going to just give you the award. Go ahead. That's just because you're friends of ours, so we'll just give you the award.
Okay. There's a lot of great people in the lifetime category. So,
Yeah,
and the other thing with the lifetime category, I thought, well, I've only been doing this 10 years. Does that mean that if I was to win or whoever wins, does that mean we're done or can we keep going?
That's a good question.
I don't want to be done. I don't know if I want to win because I don't want to be done.
Well, I'll tell you, the question of the day right now is, what medium do you use in order to be able to get your awareness for your cause, whatever that may be? For those who don't know who Barby Ingle is, you can find her in just about any way of social media in regards to the International Pain Foundation. But this is for Barby Ingle for the Lifetime Award from WEGO Health. And certainly, Barby Ingle Lifetime is much more than just the International Pain Foundation. So why don't you go ahead and tell us, what mediums do you use in order to be able to get out to your community that you're trying to be able to bring awareness for?
Well, one of the things that has grown out of my story and learning to live with chronic pain is that I became a published author. I've published 8 books so far, and I have 4 in the works now. Hopefully 2 of those will be out next year. I really have shared my story, and it's kind of interesting. One of the books coming up is my life story. Before I developed chronic illness, I had a learning disability, and I never in my lifetime, up until the day I published my first book, thought that I would be writing a book, let alone, I didn't even like writing paper for class in college. So the fact that I was able to write a book and have a learning disability and overcame not only the fear of it, but also just accomplishing something that big was really important to me, especially after I'd lost everything in my life. I was living a great life prior to getting reflex sympathetic dystrophy and the other secondary conditions that followed. And I lost everything. And so I had to build my life back up literally from food stamps and welfare to the life that I have now 10 years later. Well, 10 years that I've been doing advocacy work.
Wow.
So it took a few years to get started after developing the disease in 2002. I didn't start advocacy work until 2006.
So did you say that you have 8 books that are published?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want me to name them?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sure. The first one I did was The Wisdom of Ingle, which is a book about life lessons. I did that with my father. We put 5 generations of stories that have happened in our family and have been passed down through the generations, which was really, my father passed away in February. And when he passed away, we actually read from the book at his funeral. And we actually, as a family, sat down together and read all the stories that he wrote out of the book to each other. So it really was a healing tool for us, but it's also fun for other people to see the motivational stories in there. And then the next one I did was RSD and Me, which is a guide for patients and caregivers that are living with chronic pain. Okay. And then I did Remission Possible, Yours If You Choose to Accept It, which is about going into remission and realizing that remission wasn't a cure, and what a life of remission actually ended up being for me. And then I did the Pain Code, Navigating the Minefield of the Health System, which is a book about navigating the health system. And that one is called the Pain Code, but it really is appropriate for anybody that is living in the United States that has like family members that are older or themselves have to prepare for living with things that happen to us as we get older, as well as things if you have chronic pain or a chronic disease. And then I did a follow-up workbook journal to the pain code. And then I did Aunt Barbie's Invisible Endless Owie, which is a children's book that my brother illustrated. And then I did Real Love and Good Sex for chronic pain patients and their partners to talk about the relationship and communication between partners and how important it is and ways to get it back if you've lost it.
Yeah.
I did that one with my husband. And then I was part of a book that came out in January called I'm Possible, which was life stories of people who survived chronic pain or any other tragedy or overcoming a challenge that they've had in their life. So I was one of the authors on that book as well. And so those are the 8 that are already published.
Wow. Okay, so obviously you use your writing as far as being a medium for you. So how,
I do. And I also have a blog.
And you also have a what?
I have a blog, and then I also am a columnist for the Pain News Network.
I mean, it's not easy publishing a book. I know that for a fact. I've got 4 books that are started, and I don't have one finished yet. So I know that it was easy for me to start, but it's almost impossible for me to finish so far. I haven't done it yet. Keyword yet. That's a risen strength. Okay, so how did you go about, publishing 8 books? I mean, do you just have all of this knowledge more than anybody else that's out there? Or is it something that you think that you just have a knack of being able to put the words on paper out there for others?
I think in the beginning, I just wanted to share my story so it stopped happening to other people, so that people could get diagnosed sooner, that they could recognize the symptoms, to know that they're not crazy. And it was very therapeutic. After that, I wanted to keep sharing the life stories and the experiences. I ended up developing a lot of followers through my writings and my book. So I wanted to, people would ask questions. What are you doing now? Did that treatment work? What are you doing? So it was kind of follow-up to the RSD and Me. The other books came as follow-ups that patients actually suggested and said, hey, can you write about this? We see your relationship with your husband and we want to get our marriage like that. What is your secret? So at first it was just a therapeutic thing for me to do. And then it turned into people have asked me to share more.
Yeah. It's funny how you should mention your marriage, because your marriage is pretty cool. And you can go ahead and you can mention his name if you want to.
Sure. I am married to Ken. So yes, we are Ken and Barbie. And it's a great icebreaker. It gets people to remember us. It got us onto reality television. So now we're reality TV personalities. Yeah. And we don't really, you said my name at the beginning of the show, but when we're together, we don't use our last names because we have different last names. Right. We just say we're Ken and Barbie.
Yeah, and it works out really well. Okay, so Barby Ingle, the Lifetime Award Achievement, if you were to receive that award, what does that mean to you? I mean, what are some things that come into mind? I mean, you must have thought about it since you've been as a finalist for the award. What are some things that come to mind?
Well, it's a huge honor, and being recognized by peers in the pain community on the different levels, by the people who nominated me, and then by people that are, with the WEGO Health Organization as judges, to then say, okay, she was nominated by people that know her, but we don't know her, and we don't know these other finalists, and still to be chosen as a finalist means that something extraordinary has been done by all of us.
Yeah.
And so it's just the extra special recognition that I feel like I didn't get to the position I'm in now because I did it alone. I feel like I just stepped up and became one voice in the community. Mm-hmm. But it starts with one person to speak up, and then other people start speaking up because they see that it's safe or okay. And it's just grown so much. So I don't feel like I got to the point that I have so far, and I feel like I still have a long way to go up my mountain of life. But, I just started as one person and then started connecting with other people, and now we're a large group.
And you've always been pretty dynamic. I mean, I've already said that we're good friends and everything, so I know your story pretty good. You've always been a dynamic personality, from being a cheerleader to being a leader in the health community for what it is that you represent, to being a on TV presence, celebrity, a lot of different things, as speaker, a lot of different things. So
all of that came from cheerleading.
Really? Okay.
I started cheerleading and dance and performing in front of people when I was 4 years old. And when you can command the Rose Bowl and it's 75,000 people at the Rose Bowl to all cheer at the same time by motion and communicating with, the microphone from the center of the field and getting them all yelling at the same time. If you can do that, you can talk to anybody. So I think that it came from knowing that I had a voice. Now, developing a chronic illness made me more patient and more kind and more understanding. It made me a better person, although it sucks because I had to lose everything to get that.
Right.
But, I was living my life and I didn't understand the importance of being able to do things like the dishes and the laundry and driving to the grocery store, the things that we all take for granted every day, spending time with family and relatives and at important events, getting all of that taken away and having to find a way to claw back up the mountain and rebuild a life has really come from the strengths that I gained in cheerleading. You smile even when your team is losing. You just put one foot in front of the next and you keep going. If you mess up on a dance routine, it's okay. You just pretend like you didn't mess up, like that was how it was choreographed, and you keep moving on. And no one's going to notice unless you point out, hey, I just made a mistake. And we all make mistakes. Right. And that's okay. But learning that in cheerleading and how to get past the mistake and don't dwell on it and know that life's not over because one thing went bad. All those things that you learn in cheerleading. That people think that we're just little girls in skirts kicking our legs and stuff. But really, there's so many life lessons behind being a cheerleader that have helped me through the challenges of being a chronic pain patient.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Thank you for that insight. That really does fit the show, because a lot of people probably would wonder where it is that you got all the capabilities and the talents that you obviously are using in numerous different ways. It comes from cheerleading from the very beginning. Okay, so we're talking about the Lifetime Achievement Award. So what are some ideas or thoughts that you have in mind that you plan on doing for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road?
The good thing is I don't know. I just finished a major 2-year project, became a record producer and music producer, and released a song called Hope is True by iPain, which you have featured on your show.
Yes.
And that was like a 2-year learning and building process that I went through that started with a dream and turned into a reality. And I feel like I just birthed an elephant. And so besides the books that I already had in the works, I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the next and see what opportunities come my way. And if I have any more dreams, then start new projects.
That is pretty awesome. Just keep on going and see where it all comes around. Okay, so where can somebody find Barby Ingle for you as the Lifetime Achievement Award finalist? And we certainly wish you luck in your endeavor for that award. So where can people find you?
People can find me at barbyingle.com, BARBYINGLE. They can also find me on all social media platforms except for Tumblr. It's the only one I don't have. But I'm on all of the rest.
I noticed recently you were on You Now. You were definitely on there for a while, and you have quite a few people that are following you. So I see that you're using that to your utmost, too.
Absolutely. I actually teamed up with You Now back in 2012 when they first started, and I was one of the original 12 personalities that they had on You Now, on that platform. And I've been off and on it for all these years, but during the month of November, last month, we do a project that is about nerve pain and raising awareness, and one of the tasks was that we did an 8-hour broadcast on You Now. And so you were so nice to come on as a guest, and we had other people come on throughout the day and had a really good time talking about chronic pain and chronic pain awareness, which isn't something that's normally seen on You Now, but we actually brought in some new viewers and users to the platform through our 8-hour-long broadcast.
That was an 8-hour-long broadcast for sure. And but it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed being able to be on the show with you, and it happened to be on my day off, so it really worked out well. For those who don't know about You Now, or if you do know about You Now, go ahead and check out Barby Ingle's, her version of You Now for that show. It was really informative, and it brought a lot of awareness to a very tough subject to talk about, and she does that really, really well. I gotta tell you, Barby, it's wonderful to have you here at the WEGO Health Awards, and I am not surprised in any way that you are a finalist for the Lifetime Achievement, and we certainly wish you luck into your endeavor for that.
Thank you so much. And I wish everybody, all of the 73 finalists, best wishes and good luck. We all have done something great. That's why we're here. So everybody should be applauding themselves.
Absolutely. Barby Ingle, everybody. Thank you again, Barbie, and we will see you again soon. Go ahead and enjoy yourself with the WEGO Health Award.
Thank you so much.
To learn more and to join the WEGO Health Network, visit www.wegohealth.com. That's www.wegohealth.com.